Hey, Toasty. Hey, Katie girl. Are you so excited, Katie? Toast is sitting on a green stalk box. I ordered this for Michaela for her birthday, and it came in. We haven't set it up yet. We're going to set it up with fall stuff, so there's not any rush. She got the blueberry one. Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Roots and Refuge Farm. We are heading out to the barn. I am hoping I get out there before it starts raining on me and my camera. It looks like we're getting some more weather. It's been raining a lot this week, and I am not complaining. It's definitely helped keep the heat down a little bit, and it has made the grass start growing again, which when you have a lot of animals that eat grass, that's nice. Whenever it doesn't rain and the grass doesn't grow, you have to go through hay, which costs money. And so literally the rain means I have to spend less money to take care of my animals, which is great. We'd had kind of almost droughtish conditions there for a little bit. And now that we're out of that, the farm is starting to look very green again. It had gotten a little golden in the dryness. Witt's days as an honorary horse are over for now. We brought him in because we needed to get Dusty out of hanging with the girls. Hey, little horse goat, what's up, boy? Dusty, I don't think he's big enough to breed them. Like, I don't think they would let him. However, he was starting to show interest. I think the girls must be starting to cycle. We brought Witt in so the boys could hang out together, because I want Witt to be the baby daddy this year. Good morning, girls. Good morning, girls. You ready to milk? Hello, Claire. Oh, hello, Winnie. Hello, girls. Hey, get out of there. Go on. Little heifer. Go on. I think the turkeys have something to say. So I know it's because I'm a dreamer by nature. I'm always kind of imagining, planning, thinking about what's next. Sometimes that gets me in trouble. Sometimes I have to like rein it in so I can do what's right in front of me, instead of kind of staying head in the clouds and focus on tomorrow. Sometimes I have to be like, all right, Jess, today, focus on today. But there's something that happens in every season. There comes a period where I just feel like the shift of the season's coming. And this morning, it's probably a little bit because it's kind of a cooler summer morning, and you know, we've had a lot of storms. We had storms last night. But I can feel fall like impending, which I know some of you who live in like short season places, you're like, don't say that. I just got thoroughly into summer. Of course, we've been dealing with summer for quite a while now, so I'm not over it. I'm never really over summer, but I'm coming to a place where I really have had my fill of summer. I mean, I'm tired, you know, it's been a lot of work, but I can feel fall coming. I mean, we're getting ready for like back to school. We're dealing with all of the things that come with that. I'm sure that plays into it. But I feel good about it. I'm excited for fall. I have been getting my kids ready for back to school. And what I do, come on, little Virgie girl. What I do with my kids, because I have 5 sons, which means there's a lot of hand-me-downs. What's up, Sowards? I'm just opening this so I can have some light.
Some light?
But I'm milking. For the obvious answer to your question, I'm milking goats. What are you doing? Spraying off the concrete. Yeah, stop it. Don't. It's not funny. It won't be funny. You better quit that giggling.
I would never with the camera on.
I was about to say, we both know that if that's the case, you've been never like you never have before. Speaking of having 5 sons, I live in a house full of boys. So there is, and that's the biggest one of all. So there are times that I have to be like, hey, seriously, right now, that's not going to be funny right now. Because they all mess with me and do stuff that a lot of times it is funny, but sometimes I have to be like, not today. No. Anyway, we have a lot of hand-me-downs. So when it comes to school shopping, like, we don't go buy, like, all new wardrobes for school to start. It's just, it would be excessive and unnecessary. But I usually take the boys out on, like, a one-on-one day getting prepared for school. And go pick out, like, a couple of things that will, you know, that they'll feel good about. So they have a, you know, a new outfit to wear or whatever. But so that's what I've been doing this week, is getting prepared for school to start. And it's been really sweet. I've really enjoyed getting to hang out with my kids one-on-one. I went with Jackson this week to do dorm shopping and get like his bedding and stuff to take to his dorm room. So I cried in the Target. He had to go to the bathroom, and when he walked away, I just was like, it all came out. And then I, you know, got a grip. It's not about me, but man, what a season of transition. So that's not a surprise that I'm feeling fall on the horizon and all the change that's coming. Y'all know something crazy? Virgie, this little goat here, she has a lopsided udder. So when I first got all my goats, she was the lowest producer. The others produced close to half a gallon and each milking, and she produced more like a quart because only one side of her udder really produced much. And now the others have kind of like simmered down some. They don't produce quite as much, and she's now the one producing half a gallon with only one side being as effective. My plan has been, since these goats are 4, 5, and 6 years old, my plan has been that over the course of like the next couple of breeding seasons to pick out like the very best doelings that I get. And you know, I don't feel any pressure. Like, I may not keep any this year, I may not keep any next year, but if I get one that's like really flashy from the does that I really want to retain from, then I can keep them and raise them up to breed later, to later like phase these girls out. And essentially my goal is over the next handful of years to just keep 3 goats in milk at a time. I don't want more than 3 in milk. But when I first got them, I kind of thought Winnie would be the one I would keep from because her udder is like the most correct. But personality wise and then production, Virgie's it, man. And Claire I like. She's very easy to milk. Ben's favorite is Claire. He likes milking her the best. But Virgie's the one who has kind of become my favorite girl. So we've done a lot of videos recently, like addressing topics, but not so much like hanging out and catching up. Today, Malia is coming over this afternoon. Of course, we moved her here to South Carolina, but she's been gone most of the summer, visiting her mom and going on vacation and stuff. But her boyfriend flew in from Vegas, and so they're coming today to eat dinner here. They've been running around and doing some different fun things. And I got a clip of them the other day when I took the peaches to the farmer's market, and I'm such a goof. Sometimes I'll get mixed up on my camera, and I'll think I'm turning it on when actually I'm turning it off, and I get backwards, and so I didn't actually record the clip of them eating peaches, so they weren't in that video. I'm gonna hopefully shoot some with her today so you guys can hear from her a little bit. So yeah, this is Virgie's production in the morning, and only one side of her udder really produces very much. That's pretty impressive. This is a half-gallon jar, by the way. Now look how big Fraulein's gotten. I mean, she's still very petite. She's young, a young heifer, but she's starting to look more like a big girl these days. Fraulein is, let's see, she's 16 months old. And we've been waiting until she is 18 months old to breed her. Oh, that's my kids. They're out here playing. I was like, who is that? Yeah, that we've been waiting till she's 18 months old to breed her. That was something that was recommended. You can breed cows as early as like 14 months, but to make like the ideal home dairy cow, you know, allowing them to go, we let her nurse until she was 9 months, and then we'll wait till 18 months to breed her. And it just allows her to develop and get to be like a bigger size. And we're not 100% sure. We have some friends that have a Dexter bull, and so I'm thinking we may take her over to him and try that cross. Of course, we have our Devon bull, and that's what we have been breeding our Jerseys to. And we've tried AI. We just don't, artificial insemination. We just don't have a lot of great options, and it was really expensive whenever we did it, and it didn't work. We just talked about it, and to spend money, it feels like gambling to me to take that much money. I mean, I think we spent like a few $100s doing a round of AI and then what they had to do to prepare the cows, and then it just didn't take. I think it's awesome if you can catch your cows naturally open and do AI. Maybe down the road that'll be something that we learn, but as of right now, we just like live covering with bulls. It's just easier and more fail-safe and cheaper. You all done? Come on. Come on. Come on, Claire. Go ahead, darling. Good girl. Sometimes I'll set my camera up and film something, and I don't always put the whole thing in videos, just because like watching what people actually sit through, there's kind of this balance between telling a story and keeping it moving. But it took me 2 minutes and 58 seconds to get Claire on the stanchion and completely empty of milk, which is really not very long if you actually think about it. This is why I don't want more than 3 goats in milk at once, because as it is right now, like if I need to get milking done fast, let's say I've got an appointment or something like that, I can get my goats milked start to finish in about 20 minutes. Now, a lot of times I'm like doing video, or I'm doing other things, or I'm kind of distracted, and I take more like 30 to 35 minutes. But if I need to get it done quickly and keep it moving, 20 minutes, it doesn't take that long. Mostly I let them like take their time, and I take my time because it's enjoyable. I feel like when you start talking about dairy animals, everybody talks about what a huge commitment it is. And don't get me wrong, I mean, it is. You have to do it. Like, that's the biggest thing. It's not that it's hard. It's not that it's terribly time consuming. It's that it's non-negotiable. That's the thing about dairy animals that's actually an adjustment for people. But if you've got kids or pets, you already have non-negotiable things you have to show up for or arrange someone else to take care of. So in my mind, it's not too terribly different from those things. All right, you all done? Come on. Come on. Winnie. Waiting. Come on. Get up. Winifred. Girlfriend. Why? So if you're gonna have goats, you're gonna have a herd of goats, there's gonna be one that always tests you, that pushes the boundaries, that's always the one that's in the way. It's not actually a rudeness issue. It's honestly a dominance issue. A lot of times the most dominant animal in any situation could be also perceived as rude. It's her. She's the one. In my old goat herd, it was Maggie. And then Clover was the other one, which, funnily enough, my friend Amanda has both of those girls now. And they've settled into her herd and aren't nearly as mischievous as they were in mine. But it has to do with the dominance. And she's definitely the boss babe of my herd, the queen bee. She's the oldest. And she is always pushing boundaries. So one thing, I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about this in a video, but it's come up in the comment section a lot. And maybe it's a weird place to put it at the end of the vlog, talking largely about goats. But I view these kinds of videos as just hanging out with you guys. It's my friends. I've had a lot of comments lately because many people have noticed that I'm growing my gray hair out. And I kind of wanted to talk about it. It's not a big deal to me. It feels like a weird thing to talk about, like my looks on a video in front of a lot of people. But I never colored my hair until I was like halfway through my 30s. And basically I had permed my hair, and with the perm being out in the sun, because my hair was chemically treated, it started turning really orange, and I really didn't like that. I felt like I didn't look like myself, so I started coloring my hair like just back to my natural color, matching my roots. And somewhere along the way of doing that, my hair started to turn quite gray. And as it started turning gray, you know, it was like I was having to go in more and more to like cover that. And I kind of got to the point that the only reason why I wasn't growing it out was because of like the awkward grow out stage of like, oh, it's going to look kind of weird. And honestly, it really doesn't. Basically, I'd gotten to where I was going real regularly. I do like going and get my hair done. I love my hairstylist. He's so sweet, so much fun. And it feels nice, you know, to feel all nice and fresh. And I had to cancel an appointment a couple of months ago because Ben got a sty in his eye and had to go to the doctor. And with my extremely busy summer and the fact that the guy that does my hair is pretty in demand and he doesn't have a super open book, I couldn't get back in for a couple of months. And I couldn't get a day that worked for me too with all the traveling I was doing. So I was like, well, I guess now's as good a time as any to go ahead and just, you know, suck up the awkward grow out stage. And I've had several people making comments being like, oh, I see that you've got gray, don't cover it, let it grow out, all this different stuff. You know, I think that what you do with your body aging is just such a personal choice that if it makes people feel good to color their hair and to nip, tuck, and fill and all this stuff, like, you know, I think it's personal. I think that it's fine. For me personally, my choice is that I made the decision a little while ago that I wanted to just embrace aging. I think it's an honor to age. I don't mind that there are wrinkles on my face. These are my laugh lines. I mean, I have these wrinkles because of how much I smile and how expressive I am. And so I don't view that as a detriment. And the same thing with the gray hair. I don't know. I mean, it felt like a big decision to be like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then I realized, like, oh, this is just what I look like. And that's kind of always been my stance. Having my face on screens all over the place it makes me think about it, I guess. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I remember going into the Best Buy once and seeing like an 80-something inch TV and seeing how big and high def it was and realizing that a lot of you probably have TVs like that and realizing, oh God, that means people are looking really up close in my face. That is so weird. So yeah, I mean, it makes me think about it. But the thing I've always settled on, you know, I used to nitpick myself so much. I used to, when I first started making YouTube, I would try to make videos and I would nitpick myself to the point that I would film things and then delete them because I was being way too critical of me. And then I finally just accepted, like, this is my face. That's why I don't mind making videos not put together. I don't mind making videos without makeup on and stuff like that, because this is what I look like. My voice has changed over the years. The older I've gotten, my voice sounds a little bit different, and people point that out sometimes, or they'll come in and they'll look at old videos and be like, man, you look so different than you used to. And I'm like, well, that was 10 years ago. I aged. I grew up. My voice got older. Like, there's just, to me, personally, when you fight change in your life, you're embracing being stagnant rather than embracing development. Change is not bad, and really I just want to be present right now. I do have people sometimes whenever I say, well, I'm turning 40 next year, and people are like, well, you don't look 40. And I'm like, actually, this is what it looks like. Like, I'm 38. My birthday's at the end of the year. So I'll be 39 this year. I'm turning 40 next year. And, you know, I've got a kid. The boy that made me mom's going into college. People say, you don't look old enough to have a college student. I do. I gave birth to him. So I am old enough to have a son that's in college. You know, like, I am old enough. This is what it looks like. And I think that we've been so, our idea of age has been so twisted by a consumeristic culture that's wanting to sell us on things, that we think things are supposed to look a certain kind of way. You think you're supposed to be a certain kind of way. But what would we do if we just embraced what we are? This is what 38 looks like, and I'm completely okay with that. And I mean, that doesn't, I like skincare. I like doing stuff like that. It feels good. I mean, and that's kind of my thing. It's a personal choice. If somebody wants to do things that make them feel better, I mean, okay. But this is just what I want to do. So yes, thank you for those of you who have been very complimentary. It is what it is. My hair's gonna get really gray. I mean, it's pretty. I got pretty good streaks in there. You know, Maya started going very gray a handful of years ago, and I love it on him. And it's kind of funny. Like, I was never trying to hide that. Though I like changing my hair, and if you've watched my videos long enough, you definitely know that that's true, because I've sported probably 20-something different hairstyles since I started making YouTube videos. But I can change it in other ways. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. I don't know that I will color my hair again. Maybe I will. Maybe at some point I'll get a wild hair to mix it up, but I don't want to ever feel like I have to do anything to uphold some standard. I mean, that just brings out like that belligerent rebel in me that's like, don't you tell me what I have to do to be good. I am good. That's just, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know what to exactly say about it, but I guess acknowledging it, yes, you are right. My hair is turning very silver in certain places, and we're just going to see together how silver it gets. I think it's kind of exciting. Y'all done? The passage of time that has happened and been cataloged here on my channel is really cool to me. You know, sometimes I'll go back and just like watch little clips of lots of my videos and go like way back. And I mean, seriously, Jackson was 10 or so when I first started making videos, and I wasn't real regular when I first started. Ben was an infant. The first videos I ever put on YouTube was like 2015, so almost 10 years ago, and then I started to do it real regularly in 2018, which at that point Benjamin was 3. So that first year that I was like doing all the garden tours and stuff like that, Ben was like a little toddler, just barely potty trained. And now, you know, he's going into the 4th grade and is a big kid. And Jackson, of course, is going into adulthood. And all of that has been documented here. But one thing that is absolutely true also is that I've grown up here on this channel too. In both knowing who I am, in confidence, in embracing aging, and just maturity. I mean, just like I said, a lot changes between 28 and 38 in so many different ways. And I think that it's really cool how we've been able to share that with a lot of you. I mean, a lot of you have been with us from the beginning. All right, y'all. Well, the goats are milked. It is drizzling rain, so I am going to put the camera down, get it inside, and try to keep it from getting wet. Thank you for hanging out with me today, chatting with me while we milk the goats. Some of my favorite videos to make, just because, you know, it just feels like bringing a friend to the barn with me. Thanks again. God bless you. Until next time.